Hello and welcome back to another video. Back in the Peak District today, heading up my beloved Kinder Scout. I've just parked the car in Edale and we are doing a slightly different walk up Kinder today. As a lot of you will be able to tell, I'm heading up towards Grimesbrook Clough, which takes us all the way up to the plateau, and then from there I'm going to head over to Crowden Tower, over to the Woolpacks, and then we are going to take a right and head towards the centre of the plateau, which not many people do because there's not a lot there and it is an absolute bog fest. However, today we are going to try and find the official summit of Kinder Scout. Kinder Scout has 3 trig points on it. There's one just above Ring and Roger called, I think it's called Edale Moor, that trig point. There's Kinder Low trig point, and there is Kinder Downfall trig point. None of those trig points actually mark the highest point of Kinder Scout. Usually a trig point would mark the highest point, but for Kinder, I think because it's such a big plateau, they couldn't really put a trig point in the centre because it would have been a bit pointless. So I was looking at the map before I came out today, and Kinder Low trig point sits at 633 metres, whereas the actual official summit sits at 636 metres, so there's only 3 metres difference. So if you've been to Kinder Low, you've basically been to the top of Kinder. I'm not trying to strip that title from you because I have actually never been to the summit of Kinder either. Even though I've been up here so many times over the years, I've never really ventured into that part of the plateau. I'm expecting nothing but bog, mud and very wet feet. And one of the other reasons why people don't really venture into the plateau is because it is really hard to navigate there. It's quite dangerous really. People have got lost up there. Mountain Rescue will have been up there rescuing people from the plateau because it's such a vast expanse of kind of open moorland, and if the Clyde comes in you can't see a flying sausage up there. So yeah, if you are planning on doing this route after watching this video, make sure you get your maps out the night before, plot it all, download the OS Maps app because it is fantastic, and that's what I'll be using today. I have got my paper map in my bag obviously, but I will be using the OS Maps app because it's really accurate with its GPS. So yeah, that's the rough plan. We'll go to the summit and then we're just going to head back on ourselves. I think after we've been to the summit, I'm not going to go over to Kinderlow and down Jacob's Ladder. I'm going to head back onto ourselves up to Grimesbrook Knoll there, and then we'll head back down into Edale, and we're going to be going straight into that cafe because it is freezing today. So fingers crossed we can find it. I am so happy to be back on my favourite hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it, in the Peak District. So I'm going to head up Grimesbrook now and I'll catch up with you when I get up to the plateau. Right, so we're on the plateau. I'm sorry if you can't hear me very well because it is very windy up here. It is a proper winter's day on Kinder Scout. There isn't a soul up here whatsoever, and it is pretty cold. I think it's about 0 degrees with the wind chill. Oh, proper bleak day on Kinder Scout. So we made our way up Grimesbuck Clough. Really wet, very slippy today. But yeah, I am pretty unfit at the moment. Still recovering from injury, so that took it out of me. But we've made it up here just over 45 minutes, which I'm pretty happy with. So now that we're on the plateau, we're going to head over towards Crowden Tower, then onto the Woolpacks, and then, like I said earlier, we're going to cut right and try and find this summit. So yeah, we're going to keep moving because it's pretty cold up here. There is definitely going to be no drone footage today because, you know, it's going to get blown all the way over to Sheffield today. I might be a bit wrong in the head, but I kind of love it when it's like this up here. Feel like you've got it all to yourself, makes you feel alive. And when you get back down to Edale and you sat in that cafe with a hot brew, oh, makes it all worth it. And I didn't say the distance of the route earlier. I think the whole route comes in around 7 miles today, so just over. So nothing crazy. If you did want to make it a bit longer, you could head back over towards Kinderlow after reaching the summit and head back down Jacob's Ladder. I'm going to stop talking now because it's blowing an absolute hoolie up here. Probably can't hear very well. So yeah, we're going to head over towards Crowden Tower, then onto the Woolpacks now, and then hopefully we'll find this summit. And yeah, I need to get my gloves back on because it is freezing. So we've made it over to the Woolpacks. That's Pim's chair just behind me, which marks the point where you basically need to cut in. And so far, there's almost a nice little path leading in the direction of it. It's not marked on a map or anything, but so far we've seemed to dodge any serious bogs. And this is the beauty of Kinder. There is trails that just run all over the plateau. There are little shortcuts and stuff over to the northern edge. A lot of the locals in the area know all the little trods, and yeah, there are lots, but you need to be careful wandering off into them because if it was clagged out now, there is 0 landmarks in this sort of direction that I'm heading in, and it's really easy to get lost very quickly. But yeah, according to my watch, we're about 5.5 kilometers in now, so it doesn't really take too long to get here from Edale. The other way you could get over here would probably be from the Hayfield side, but it's probably a little bit longer. And as I was saying earlier, I'll quickly show you this. I'm using the OS Maps app to kind of guide my way. So it pinpoints where you are on the map, using GPS. That's the summit right there. And yeah, we're on track at the minute, so I'll just keep on looking at this just to make sure I'm in the right sort of place. You can see an outcrop of rock here, and there is an outcrop of rock right in front of us. And obviously you can do that on a paper map as well. But like I said earlier, I will never ever solely rely on my phone, because anything could happen to it. It could run out of battery, the GPS could play up, OS maps could play up, anything. So always take a paper map and have the route plotted on there already, and just make yourself familiar with it all, because yeah, it's very easy to get lost, especially on places like Kinder. And over to my left over there, I can see the Kinderlow trig point. It is basically just there, and I think I can actually see the summit of Kinder Scout. And I've done all that without being waist deep in a bog in the middle of December, so I am pretty buzzing right now. I can see a tiny little pile of rocks there, sat on a big lump of earth, which I think must mark the highest point. It doesn't really look like the highest point. So here we are, we're at the summit of Kinder Scout. However, I have just looked at this, and it does look like we've actually just kind of passed the summit. So I think the actual true summit is just behind us over there, according to this. And this is why no one really cares about coming to here. There's not really any particular views, all you can see is the plateau. It's very bleak up here. So I now think we are officially at the summit of Kinder Scout, because there is an orange dot which marks the 636 point, and my little red arrow is sat directly on the orange dot. You can't even see it now. So I think we have found the official summit of Kinder Scout. It's the first time I've ever been here. I don't feel like I'm any higher than, you know, looking 100 meters that way, 100 meters that way, 100 meters that way. It all looks the same height to me. But yeah, this is apparently the spot. It looks like the rocks over there are slightly higher, so we're going to have a little wander back over there and give them a touch. So then we have definitely hit the summit. There we go. We've definitely done the summit now. And it feels pretty good, to be honest. I've been coming up this mountain since I can remember, and I've never been here, which is crazy really. This could also be an awesome spot for a wild camp, so it's a nice flat ground there, so we might have to do a Kinder Scout summit wild camp. But yeah, there aren't any fantastic views up here as such, but I still absolutely love it up here. When the weather's like this, it really does make you feel alive, and yeah, I do love this mountain. It's got so much to offer. Maybe this summit walk isn't going to inspire you to get out of bed on a cold Sunday morning, but the walk up here was still beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna have a brew because I'm freezing, and then we're gonna head back down over to Grindsbrook Knoll. I think what I'll do is I'll do like a time-lapse walk all the way back so you can see the whole route back, and then I'll catch up with you either at Grindsbrook or when we're dropping back down into Edale for a final little chat. So I made it over to Grindslow Knoll, and I'm now on the final descent back into Edale. You got Lord's Seat up here, you've got Rushup Edge, Mamtor here. This is the Great Ridge, which was last week's video. Past Hollands Cross, all the way over to Loose Hill, and you can actually just see Win Hill, that little lump right in the distance over there. And this here is Ringing Roger. So you get a really nice view coming down Grindsbrook Knoll, and it's also a really nice way to go up if you don't fancy doing the clough. Quite a quick way of getting straight up onto the plateau. It's a bit rocky and loose underfoot, and hopefully this will give you something a bit different to do next time you come up Kinder, or if you've never been up Kinder before. If it is your first time coming up Kinder, there are definitely some nicer walks which are going to give you more views, such as doing the Kinder Downfall route, or just the classic route that I've done today, but you go all the way over to Kinder Low instead of the summit, and then back down Jacob's Ladder. All of them are on my channel. There's quite a few Kinder videos on my channel. They'll be in the Peak District playlist as well. So if you need some Kinder Scout inspiration, there's a fair amount on there now. I've been coming up here for years and I've still barely even scratched the surface. There's so much I want to do next year. I need to explore a few more of the cloughs, and I've got a few challenges to do in and around Kinder, so endless possibilities with this big lump of earth that I absolutely love. And I've been going for 2.5 hours now, and 11 kilometers in total, so not a mega long walk by any means. I think if you do the route over to Kinder Low and down Jacob's Ladder, it's going to come in a little bit longer. And like I was saying earlier, definitely if you're going to do that walk and try and find the summit, I would recommend doing it on a nice clear day where visibility is really good, like today. Although there's, you know, a lot of cloud, I could see everything when I was up on the plateau. Download OS Maps app, plot the route on there, take a paper map, make yourself familiar with how to use a paper map as well. But yeah, I think we're going to end the video here. I need to get in that cafe because my digits are absolutely freezing. I'm meeting Hev there for a coffee. Hopefully she gets there just before me, so she's got one waiting for me. But thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for all the love, all the support, all the amazing comments. They really do mean the world, and it's great to be back out in the Peak District once again, making a video for you all. Like I said, I want to get out and film loads this winter and spring. Let me know in the comments if you want to see any sort of particular route or videos. I hope you all managed to get out for a walk this week and explore the Peak District, Lake District, Snowdonia, wherever you live, even if it's your local park. I know how tough it is at this time of year where it feels like it's dark all day. You arrive at work, it's dark, you leave work, it's dark. I'm so ready for spring, but yeah, getting out on the days off, so good for the noggin. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because I keep yapping on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.